Okay, so I'm actually going to my Postgres now. Just a minute. Uh, check. Just a minute. Okay, so actually, I have the Notebook database already on my laptop. I already created it before, but I'm going to show you how to do that now. And I'm going to be showing you the assignment. So basically, let me just show you the Notebook. It's just it contains information about a supplier company. Let me just quickly look at the everything here. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. So this is the ERD of the Northwind Northwind database. So can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see your screen, sir.
So it's a very kind of like big database. So it contains information about products of the particular companies, other details, employee territories, orders, customer demographics, shippers, employees, categories of the product selling in that particular product, territories and the regions. Just more or less like a superstore database, but this one is just for another companies. So so what you're going to be doing for these things, you have some set of questions already created that you are going to be answering with this particular database. Actually, it's a very, very popular database in I think SQL Server. I think yeah, SQL Server. So you can actually just go on and read on about the Northwind database just to have some information about it. But this is the ERD that is going to be helping you on how to like link up the tables that you have in that particular database. So this is the ERP that is going to be helping you for that. Yes. ARP that's going to be helping you to know which table is linked to which table and how you can actually link them together. So that's that. So now for this now, we also have we have the questions I've already created. So this is the question you are going to be answering with this database. So I have the questions here. So the questions are listed here, like 20 questions. So you are going to be writing queries to answer these questions in SQL. So what I actually want to see now is just your query, like the query that you used to get the answer. Just I'll show you how to save a query, like all your query files in Postgres today. So save the query file. Those are the query files are what we are going to be sharing. So at the top of each query, you have to like put a comment. Like normally you just put a comment of the questions and write down the query, run it. You are going to get your result, but just run it. That's all we want to see is the query to see whether you actually got the query right. So these are the questions you are going to be answering with the database, like 20 questions or so. Okay. I think it's like 20. So like 20 questions or so. I don't have the other one yet. So those are the ones we are going to be like doing for this particular SQL assignment session. Do you have any question on this? Any question on this assignment at all?
Uh, I did not really get what you just said. Can you just please go back to it?
Okay, now so I said you're going to be working for this for the SQL assignment. We're not really uploading any assignments for the SQL. So what I did is I just uploaded the assignment now. So what you are going to be working with is the Northwind database. So it just contains information of shipping orders and other details, categories of the product that is shipped, the supplier, the product, the territories that the product is being shipped, the region, and the shipper and everything like that. So those are the information about the NotWin database. And also you can actually just like video online and just get some overview of what the NotWin database is all about. It's a very common database. So those are the this is the database you're going to be working for the assignments. And also we have some questions that we already created for you to answer with this database. So we expect you to write a query to answer that particular question. Let's just say it's in the company settings and they want some information about they needed some information. So they send you the questions of the information they needed. So you have to write the queries to get them those informations. So those are the things like those the way that is the way the assignment is being structured. So what you have to do is like you answer each questions with a query. You understand now? You answer each question with a query, and when you are submitting, you are going to submit your code. That is the query that you wrote for that particular question. That's what you're going to be submitting with the question commented at the top. So you have to put the question at the top. Okay, this one is for question one. This one is for question two. Then you submit that as your answer. And what I just shared with you now that you're seeing on your screen is the entity relationship diagram of the notes Win database. These are different tables that we have in the database, and it's showing the way they are connected. Which one is connected with which one is connected with which one, just for us to know which table we're merging with which table for us to answer the question. And also giving us information about the tables that we have there, information about on each table, like for the product now we have the product ID, the product name, the supplier ID, the category ID, and also for the categories we have information, for the territories we have information, just for you to understand the database better and to know how to answer the questions better. Do you get that?
All right, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So now what I want to do now is I want to show you how to bring in the database into your Postgres, how to load in the database into your Postgres so that you can work with it. So those are the things I want to like do now. So I have the what's it called now? The database file here. So if you check the file you're going to be working with in the milestone 4, we have this file there. So this is the file that contains the code for you to create a table within the Postgres database. Now to do that now, let me just switch to my Postgres straight away for us to do this. So I actually have the NotWin database here before, and if you check the schema now, someone is okay. If you check the schema, sorry. Yes, you can use MySQL. Yeah, you can do that. Yes. So now if you check the schema, we have these are the tables that we have there. We have the categories table just like we have on the table. Customer demo, customer demographic, customers information, employee territories, employees information, other details, the orders, the product, the region, the shippers, the suppliers, the territories, the US states. So those are the information that we have on that particular NotWin table. Let me just okay, Emmanuel, I see your hands up. Are you trying to ask a question?
Okay. I can't really see your screen. You are not sharing the
Okay.
screen yet.
Okay, I'm not sharing the screen yet.
Okay. Sorry, no. No.
Can
Yeah,
you
I
see
can
them?
see it now.
Yeah, so
Yes.
these are the
Yes.
information that we have there on the particular table, and these are the information you're going to be working with to answer the question. Now, how do I bring in this information into populate the information in my database? So, for example, I'm going to delete this database I have here, this NotWin database, just for me to show you how to create your own. So, I'm going to be deleting this now. Now, to create your NotWin database, it's just like the way we create Dynamo. So, first of all, you have to like just create an empty database by just right clicking on this database. So, when you right click on it, create database, and then you put the name of the database there. So, for this is NotWin. So, NotWin, that's the name of database. So, after that, you just save it. So, after saving it, you have database, but it's empty. So, you have database and it's empty. So, for me to actually populate uh the table now. So I have to I can import the files that contains the table codes. Like for me to create tables, I can import the file. So for me to import the file now, I can just click on the query tool. Just click on unique query tool. Yeah, on that NotWin database. So I'm going to import the file because I already had the file downloaded, the query file. So I'm just going to click on open file here. You can see all this thing that looks like folder. Open file. Then you select the not win, so you can navigate through where you have the file in your system. Just navigate through to it and select it. This is the not win. So after that, just click open. So when you open it now, you are going to have all the queries for to create the tables there. And that's it. Everything is there to create the first table, to create the second tables, and just the schema of creating table. Everything is there, and also the content of the table. Everything is there. So what you need to do is just run this file. So when you run this file, it's going to now create the table within that particular database. So I'm going to do that now, and you can see query returned successfully. So if I go back now and check the not range, okay. So who is someone is raising up their hand or something? What is that? uh I don't actually do I have a reason? I actually love it though, because I feel like it's more or less like a general form of database, and it's actually a lot of people use it though. Majority of the company use it. And the integration with Python is actually kind of like a seamless. It's actually so can you if probably you're working with a developer that is using a Python as your backend, and you can easily use Postgres. You can easily integrate Postgres with Python code at the backend. And also it is actually widely used as compared to all other databases. But there's no probably I won't say there's actually one thing that makes it like much more maybe better than the other. It's just like a lot of people prefer it, and I work with it a lot. Majority of people work with Postgres a lot, like majority of companies. That's just one. Mr. Akasmi, I'm with you.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes.
In case of for those in for the researchers, for instance,
Okay.
that may use a cross session that may collect cross session data. I mean primary data.
Okay. Yeah,
So
concession.
perhaps use their Excel
Mm-hmm.
to input the data.
Yeah, yeah.
So if they want to, maybe they decided to move their data from Excel to Postgre SQL. Like
Okay.
this code now, will it serve as a template for us to manipulate and create our own database, or what else?
Okay. Like, okay, if you wanted to create your data tables within your database like this manually, like this, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
is that
yeah, you can use the code as a template. You just have to like now the first thing you need to know is this. Know the if you want to create something like that, you have to know your informations, like what are the informations you wanted to like put in the database. And you have to identify the tables you are working with. Like, okay, how many tables do you want to put? Okay, do you want to create a table for this, create a table for this, create a table for this? Then you can actually manipulate the schema to just like to fit into what you want. Like just okay, this column A, we don't need this column for our own, this is the column that we need, and this is the data type we want to put in this particular column. And this is the data type we want to put in this column. So yeah, you can actually follow the template to create your own and use it. Yes, it is possible.
all right? Thank you. One more thing. Is it possible for us to give a third party access to our database?
Ah, that would depends on the third party. So now you can give a third party access, but it's going to be a limited access and probably a timed access.
Okay.
You understand now? Like
Yeah.
probably you will give them an access. You restrict what they can do on the database.
Okay.
If you don't trust, you restrict what they can do on the database, and it's going to be kind of like a timed access. Probably it's a one-time thing. Then the login, when they log in back, it's not going to accept them again. So that's actually based on database administrator. They can actually do that and restrict the types of thing they do on the database so that they won't just go and do your database and mess it everything up there for you.
All right. These are small field experience or practical experience we needed to grasp to make our career seamless when we secure job.
Yeah, yeah, but I won't advise it to give your database, especially production database, to an external person. No, it's not advisable to an external person, especially production. if you're actually working with your, let's say, for example, now your maybe a data warehouse now, that could have been better. But production database, don't try if you don't really trust the person.
It's all
Yeah.
right. Okay, thank
So, Mr. Yeah, so Mr. Emmanuel, you're welcome. Emmanuel.
Okay. Please, I wanted to ask this question. You know, this all this work we are doing now, we are doing it with our system. For instance, now,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
client gave me a job as data
yes.
analyst, and I've worked on it with my
Okay.
system on Excel, Power BI, SQL, and maybe something that
Yeah.
happened to my system, unfortunately, and I did not like save anything online. How can I like? I just want to like know how we can like push our work to maybe GitHub or any other way of storing our things online. Is it
Yeah,
possible?
you can put, yes, you can put your work, you can push your work to GitHub. Yeah, so GitHub is
Okay.
actually like for this
Is there a way you can like just like show
GitHub
more
is
light
an
on it?
I think you are going to get more on GitHub in actually the what's it called now? The portfolio session.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
this should like yeah, I should like show you how to like create your portfolio using GitHub. So, like, yeah, should to do that.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
So you're welcome. So that's that. So this is the information that I have for the nothing. So I've actually run the code and the table has been created. Also, so I go to schema and then check out the tables that I have here. You can see the table that has been populated. We have everything here. So after this, you can now like work with your data. Just click in on a new query to just to start answering the question. So let's say, for example, for the question where I say select all the data from the other table, like select um, from all this. We run this now. Let's say, and it gives you the information on all the others to be. Yeah. So you have something like this. So probably is your answer to question one. You can just put question one here and just put a comment. Okay, question one, and just put a question there and go to the next one. So when you are done with all the codes and everything, so you can save it. So there's a way you can save your codes that you have here now. You can save it into your file. So just click on this thing that looks like diskette, or you call it there. To save files. So to save file now, you just have to give it a name and just save your file, and automatically you are going to have it probably on your download or your document, anything like that. And you can share that particular. And that's if you are done with all your codes for the question. And that is that for the assignment. Is there any other questions on this assignment part before I actually go to what I talked about on this second part of SQL, and also or also ask our questions for SQL generally, because we're going to be rounding up everything today. Any other questions on the assignments? Any question at all on the assignments? Cool. Okay, this can go ahead. This Stella, yeah, go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. My
You're
question may
welcome.
not really be based on the assignment, but out of
Okay,
curiosity, I just want to find out something. When
okay,
they ask, for example, have you used SQL to work,
okay.
like, and you want to showcase, like I hear people say you use SQL to clean data. So my
Yeah,
concern is, how do you use the SQL to clean your data? Or is it what you
okay.
just said now? All these magic, like this not when you just talked about now. I saw that it has so
Yeah,
many tables, right?
yeah, yeah. Yes,
Then
yes,
when you now
yes.
import the table, maybe I just do the connection with, maybe I want a connection between a order and product. I merge that
Yes, yeah.
particular table. I
Tables
bring out
together.
whatever detail I want to bring out, save it, then
Yeah,
import it to Power BI. Is that what they are talking about, or is there a particular way that that part, this notwing, for example, now a way to clean everything,
mhm,
then import
yeah,
it to Power BI to show my visualization? I don't know if
yeah.
you understand
So
what I'm trying to say.
I, I get your questions. Like the question is actually about data cleaning in SQL. Like, what is it all
Yes.
about? Like, how do you clean data in SQL? So now, just like we have a normal data set in Excel that is actually so dirty sometimes. And what I mean by dirty is like probably incorrect data formats. That is, let's say I have a numeric numbers in a particular column and the number is saved in the text. It's supposed to be in numeric. So that's a kind of like a data cleaning issue. And also probably we have some missing data sets. And like I talk about, you have to deal with missing data set too in your when you're cleaning your data set. That's another thing. Another thing is let's say for example now you are trying to like check for okay if there's an outlier within your table in a database. So all those general cleaning or probably incorrect data formats, let's say my time column is not saved as a time, it's saved as a text, and I need to convert it to a time stamp or date for me to be able to like manipulate or extract data sales by day or by month or by year, stuff like that. So all those data cleaning process that we actually talked about in Excel are something that you can also do in SQL too. So if you're actually doing that now, so before I can actually take my data to SQL Postgres Power BI like you said. Now I need to like merge all the tables that I needed. For example, now I can create like a temporary table that actually contains all the information I needed to visualize my data. And it might be by maybe I'm joining like 4 or 3 tables together. And after joining the 4 or 3 tables together, I have to look out for okay, is there no values within the tables? Is there missing values within the tables? Is there incorrect data type within the tables? Is there duplicates within the tables? So I have to clean all those things before I actually now take the table to Power BI to now start visualizing. So that's what data cleaning generally means, and it's more or less like what we do in Excel and everything. Do I answer that?
Yes, partly.
Mm.
So what you're trying to say
Okay.
now, so after checking for duplicate, missing value, it's not like exact that you see the formats that okay, this thing is gone. So my own thoughts is that
Yeah.
when I finish, is it saved that what I have done is what is not there? Maybe I've checked for missing value. So if I'm into the next command, the previous one is there or it has been reverted.
Is there. So now, okay, I get what you're saying now. So when you are actually cleaning the table, like from the existing one, you have to create a new one. Do you get what I'm saying now? So you can have the original data set there, original data sets, like you are not tampering with. It's not like you are cleaning the original data set. You just try to clean it and save it in form of a new table, like a temporary table that you want to use for your visualization in Power BI or something like that. So I can take like 3 tables from my database, merge them together, and save them as a new table and clean it. And I'm using that particular table for my analysis or visualization in Power BI.
Okay.
It's just a way of creating a temporary table from the things that you needed for your analysis. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So that's that. You're welcome. So Mr. Elijah. So
Good afternoon, everyone.
good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, my questions. I have like 2 questions for you, sir. The first one is
Okay.
you were using your database to explain one question, the question 1 in the assignment.
Okay.
Are you going to, when you give us the assignment, are you going to give us the database for us to be able to pick up answers from questions that you're going to give us?
Yeah. So that's question number 1, right?
Yes, just as you explained question number 1, you said you selected from table.
Yeah. So that's what I'm actually showing you. The database you are going to be working with is this Northwind. So this particular database is what you are going to be using for your assignment.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? I have it here. So I just show you how to can create it. So I'm going to be sending the file. The file that you are going to use to create it on your own database, on your own Postgres. So you can just open the file like I import it from my system, run the file, and automatically it's going to create a table within your database. Then you can actually, this is a table you are using for the assignment. This one.
Okay,
Same
sir.
thing I have here.
Okay, sir.
So the question. The second one.
All right. The second question. In the first video you sent to the WhatsApp group, I guess the YouTube video, I mean, you sent that one was SQL.
Yeah.
I was thinking you're going to base basically on Postgres. So you were telling us initially that it was kind of like similar, but I was thinking maybe we should really emphasize more on Postgres so that I'll be able to look at the interface, because the interface for SQL is different from Postgres, so it might be kind of like confusing someone.
So Now, the SQL is just the language that we use to interact with the database.
Okay, sir.
You understand now? So structured query language, these are the language that all relational database use. Like these are the language we use to interact with all relational database. Be it
Okay.
Postgres, be it MySQL, be it SQL Server, be it Oracle, be it SQLite. So those are the things that we use. So SQL generally is just like your language. So now it now depends on you now, or depends on where you are working, depending on the type of data
Shit.
your own company. It can be used. It can use my all in all, the language you are still going to use to interact with them is SQL, and those are the things that we're actually talking about, like select star from table A. So if I write select star from table A from in Postgres, it's the same thing I'm going to write for my SQL. It's the same thing I'm going to write from SQL Server.
Okay.
So
Okay.
SQL is just your language. But for this class, we are just using
Okay.
Postgres as our own
Okay. So
database
we
to
can go
explain the
through the
SQL.
video and be able to take up the assignment, right? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. Yes,
Oh, all right,
yes,
sir. Thank
yes.
you.
You will. Yeah, yeah. You're welcome. Adeola.
I don't, I don't think it's that's the main argument. I think you just said that
Yeah, I
the
can't really hear you.
you can't hear.
I can't hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
Like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I can hear you
My
now. I can hear you now.
thank you. Good afternoon, rather. My question is just
Good
a follow-up
afternoon.
question to what
Yeah.
Stella asked. Can we have an example of the data
Okay.
cleaning in SQL?
Uh, we can have an example. Let's see, like if time permits, we can see some brief examples on how you can actually clean your data set in SQL
Thank you.
by using some of the functions that we
Okay,
talk about.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm. Okay. So, is there any other question for us so that we can actually just go into the second part and then okay, there's no other question. So let's just go into uh the SQL, like the second part of SQL I actually talked about. So the first part we talked about some of the basic queries, and what we really talk about is the select, group by, having aggregate functions and the likes, all those things that you just use to like summarize your data set just to get some information from it. Those are the things that we talked about. And for the second part, we talk about some of the functions, specific functions like date functions, like what is the we have there? We have the date functions, we have string functions or text functions, and we also have join. I talk about join. So like how to like join different tables together just to get a single one. And also we'll talk about subqueries and CTE, common table expression, subquery and CTEs. And majority of them, all these date functions and string functions are what you are going to be using to manipulate or to clean your data set most times. Like for example, now, if a particular data set or a table format is not correct, probably is in text and you need it to be in date time, then you have to convert it. Or there's no value, you have to remove no value. There is missing value, you have to remove missing value and stuff like that. So those are the things that are we use all those functions for. So now for this, now I'm just first of all going to talk about the string functions. Let me see if I can just bring in my slide and so that we can follow along. So the first one I talk about joins, and I actually explain the join. I say we have it's just a way of merging tables together. And another name for join is like data modeling when you are modeling your data, like linking up the data set together, different tables, just to like answer a particular questions or a problem. So join is a close used to so join is a close used to combine rows from two or more tables together. And we have different types of join. We have this 4 or 5 main type of join. We have the inner join, we have the left join, we have the right join, full join, and cross join. And the type of join that you use actually is usually dependent on the type of question you're trying to solve or the type of problem that you're trying to like. So that will determine what join type of join you're using. Now, for the inner join, I just when you are joining two tables together, let's say I have table A and table B. Inner join is just like you merging the tables together based on what's it called now? Like there's this thing that I put here. Related column, sorry, based on related column. So what I mean by related column is this: before you can join two tables together, or three tables together, or four tables together, there must be a column that is actually common between like the tables that are related that you can join them on. For example, now the column related column for these two tables are student ID. So student ID is common for both table A and table B. So if I want to join them together, I'm going to use student ID. And majority of the time, we call this primary key and foreign keys. The primary key and foreign keys. So when you're doing inner join, it's going to join the table based on the related column, but it's only going to return the rows, the matching rows, based for the on in both tables based on the related column. Now, the matching rows that we have here based on the related column is this 1004. That's it. Student ID 1004 and student ID 1004 on the other table are the related column. Those are the ones that are common to the two tables. All other columns are not common. So I don't have 1001 to 1003 in table B, and I don't have 1005 to 1008 in table A. So they are not actually common. So that is going to remove them. Yes, you can have access to the slide. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the slide. Yeah, have access to it. So now that's that about join, and this is what's going to return. So for those that actually maybe do for some of us that were into sets, this is what is to call this thing now? Intersect, yeah, it's intersect. Intersect. So that's the thing. Like, what is common to the two tables, and that's inner join. Now the next one is left join. Left join is actually prioritizing all the values on the left table. When I'm talking about left table, is the first table that you actually uh, name when you're writing your query. For example, now what I have here on the student ID is the left table, which is the first table, and this other one that contains the department is the right table. So when you are doing a join that and you're using left join, it's going to bring in all the information from the left table and any corresponding one from the right. And if there's no corresponding table from the right or corresponding values, it's going to replace them with null. For example, now I have a 1001 to 1004 for this left, and I have 1004 to 1008. What is common to two of them is 1004. Then it's going to return all the information for that particular table. Now, for the other 1001 to 1003, that is returning for the left table, and it doesn't have the corresponding value in table B, then it's going to return no value for them. And that is what we have. That is what we have here. And this is an example of left table. So if the reason why I use left table is that probably you are actually much more interested on all the information that you have on the left table and any matching one from the right, then you can use left join. And that's that. So we have the right join too, same as the left join, just like the opposite. So this one is going to prioritize all the information on the right table and any corresponding one from the left. And if there is no corresponding value from the left, it's going to return it with what's no value. Just like we have all the values for the right table return 1004 to 1008. And we have some matching rules like in terms of rated column, which is 1004. You can see returns all the value. And for the other tables, there's no value for name from for the right table, then is placing them with what we know, because we don't have any matching value from table A, which is the left table. And that's why it's telling them it's more like that. So this is an example of right join. So now we have the full outer join or full join. So full outer join is just like it brings in all the information from the two tables. And when there's no information in the two tables, it just replaces them with none. Like all the information from the two tables is what you return for the full outer join. Okay. I think someone's asked question. Okay. From what is I can see this. Okay. Thank you, Shoma. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thank you for all that you've been rendering for us, all the assistance you've been rendering. Please, concerning the right and the left join, I noticed that
Yeah.
the items that for instance, there was 10201 for the 101, 102, 103, and 104. It was not included. Though you said there will be to recognize null values, but it not include the third column. I don't know if you can show us the slide again so I can explain properly. Can you hear me? Hello, Emmanuel. Hello, Emmanuel.
Ifeoma, can you please take the question again?
Hello, Emmanuel. Kindly show us
Yeah,
the slide again. Take us
yeah.
back to the slide for the right or the left join. There's something I
Okay.
wanted to point out.
Okay. Can you see the slide now?
Yes, clearly. Thank you very
Okay.
much. So,
You're
for
welcome.
instance,
Yeah.
the table with the three columns did not show us 107 and 108. Is it because it was not contained in the first
Left
table?
table. Yes, so
Yes.
that is actually the thing for left table. So one thing about left table is like it can like give preference to the table on the left. So it's going to return all the table on the left. Now, like for example, now what we have on the left is 1004. So all the tables in the left and any
Yes.
matching one from the right. So that is what left is doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It repeat the same thing for the right too, because I noticed
Yeah,
it
it
was
will,
like that.
yes, yes. All the like it's going to like give bring in all the tables on the right and then
On the
new
right
one from the left.
side.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So
Thank
that's
you very much.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So okay. So that's the left and the right, and the full outer join is just going to return all the tables, like all the information from the tables. And if there's no matching one, then it's going to return null for it. Now the cross join is actually not really common like that, but no, it's still part of joins though. So this one is going to cross all the rows from table A with all the row from table B. So for example, now it's going to cross all these rows that we have in A type with all the ones that we have in this S type. That's why we have A crossed with straight, B crossed with straight, and C crossed with straight. And also, you pick it again, A crossed with curly, B crossed with curly, and C crossed with curly. So that's just cross join, like matching everything, just like Cartesian product thing. So that's like cross join. And those are the five main types of join that we actually have and actually use a lot in SQL. And then
We can't hear you.
the have on the sales. Have customer ID, order date, product ID, and just like I have it here. And for example, I have three customer ID here, three unique customer ID. I have A, B, and C. Then I have order date and product ID. Okay, someone is actually raising up their hand. Okay, I dig okay.
Yeah, I actually raised my hand when you were explaining before you ended the join class. So,
Okay,
so,
I'm sorry. I don't know.
so
So you have a
yeah,
question?
yeah.
Okay,
So my question is two questions basically.
okay.
The first one is what determines which when you are using left join or right join, what determines which of your table is at the left or on the right for you to be able to use left join or right join? That's number one. Number two is that the cross join.
Take me.
Okay,
Can you take that question? Can you take the first question? I didn't get
I
it.
should
All
repeat
right.
it.
Yeah, please.
What determines which table should be on the left or which table should be on the right when you are using left join or right join?
Okay. That's question number one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now what determines the table to be on the left or the right is now why we actually use left or right join is it depends on the information that we are prioritizing. You understand now? So let's say, for example, I needed all the information from the sales table and any corresponding one from the other table. Do you get that? So if I actually I needed all the information from the sales table, I want all the information to return from the sales table and any corresponding one from probably the menu table. So in that case, for me to like get all the information on the on the sales table and I'm using left join, then the sales table will come first. Do you get my explanation?
Yeah, is it that the table that you want to use as your primary key should be the one on the left?
The table that
If
you
you are
want to
using
use as your primary. Yeah, they
no,
both
that,
have. Yeah. You can say it that way. Like the table that actually contains is more like the information that or table that you actually want all the information from. When you are doing some analysis, you're actually much more concerned about information on one table and anyone that actually matches it from the other table.
yeah.
Yeah, so now the information that you're trying to prioritize now that contains the information that is really most important to you is what you put on the left when you are doing left join because you want everything to return. You want to return all the information in that table and any corresponding one from the right. So that one will be the first table that you're going to write. So I'm going to show you an example when I'm actually doing this. When
Okay,
I'm
the
doing
word of
this,
right join. The word of right join.
right, it's just like it's more or less like the same thing. So if I actually like putting what's it called now? I needed all the information on the right table. So it depends on the arrangement of the table to be precise, like to say. Let's say, for example, now I put this sales information is the first table, and all the information that is in it, I need them. Then I'm going to be using left join. But if the sales is in the right, then I'm going to be using right join. So it depends on where you put the table, which one comes first. I don't know whether I get the
Yeah,
explanation.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that because the in the under the database structure where I like left, you have the tables
Okay.
itemized that they just come like that, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking that is there a particular because any you can pick any table to be on your left, any table to be on your
Yes.
right. So I'm
Yes.
just trying to understand
Yeah.
the logic principles beside
Okay.
what guides which table is on the left or which is on the right when you are using
Right.
left join or right join.
No. So what really guides which table is on the left or which table is on the right when you're using your left or right joints? Like the tables that you actually care about all the information. So let's say, for example, now let me do some example here. For example, to this. So let's say I have the sales information and I have the menu information. So I'm actually concerned about returning all the information from the sales table and all that corresponding one from the menu table. So if I do something like this, select uh steric from sales. So in this case now, if I'm actually, I know I'm writing the sales table first here now, and I'm actually concerned or really need all the information from the sales table. So in this case now, I'm going to be using left join because sales table is coming out first and it is on the left side. So uh, left join, what's this other table? Menu on, let's see, I think what's common to the two of them is actually product ID. Product ID. So in this case now, so if I run this thing now, this one is going to return all the information I have on the sales table for me now. It's based on the customer ID that I actually use. So if I run it now, so all the information, all the product ID, all the information for all the product ID that I have on the sales table will be returned, and any corresponding one from what from the menu table. But let's say, for example, now I put probably menu first here, menu table first, and I have sales table here as a second one here. And I actually need all the information from the sales table. In this case, I'm going to be using right join. You get that?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to be using right join here because the information I actually want the most, like I want it to return, is on the what on the right side,
Now
right hand side.
it
Okay.
makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the demonstration makes more
All right.
sense. Then the second
All right.
question has to do with the last join, cross join.
Okay. Yes.
I feel that we use this cross join when we want to create a new table. Is that it?
Yeah, when you're trying to create a new table, yes, you use cross join. Yeah, definitely it's going to be a new table. And we actually use it when you're actually doing a kind of like a matching thing. Like, for example, now one of the a matching, like one of the example I'm trying to like I've used this cross join before is when I'm trying to do a kind of like customer segmentation or product segmentation. So I wanted to know which products like go and in and that customer tend to buy together. Do you understand? Let's say, for example, now you are working in a supermarket now or a store now. So you wanted to like get an idea of product that customer like goods. In your when you're actually arranging your supermarket store, you tend to put all those goods together. So that when you come in, you don't want to stress customer that wants to buy everything. Even if you don't plan on buying, let's say I come to your supermarket now to buy bread. And since bread and Bonvita and milk and Milo are arranged in the same way, I might not plan on buying all these things before, but because they are arranged and it's not stressing me, let me just pick and buy it. So we tend to like use Cogent to do kind of that kind of analysis and stuff. That's one we have used Cogent.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
get my explanation? Yeah. So sorry, Stella. Don't go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, I can hear you now.
based on what the last person just said now, if I understand correctly, or my basic
Okay.
understanding of this left and right join is the first table I'm calling is my left yes, the
Yeah,
first
it's a left
table.
table.
That's my own
Yes.
mindset. I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. The first table you're
Uh-huh.
calling is your left table. Why the one that comes after is your right
Okay.
side?
So my question that I really want to ask is there an easy way or a better way to know what is the linking table if you want to join? I know I had an experience some time ago using this adventure work, and I was trying to merge two tables,
Okay.
and I had to start
Okay.
scrolling through, calling off, select off from this table, select off from this. Okay,
So
where is there a better way to know which is the relationship table or column to call it merge to table?
okay. So I get that. Yeah. That's the question, right?
Yes, that's my question.
Okay. Yeah, so I get that actually. So that is why I actually did that kind of thing at some point in my own thing too, because before everybody tries something. So I did that. So that's why we have entity relationship diagram. Every database have an entity relationship diagram that they should provide for you. Every database has. Even when you are working in a company, they will give you the entity relationship diagram that shows the linkage between the tables in a particular database. So those people that create the database should provide that. And when you are working with an external data set, like let's say Adventure Work or all these database, their entity relationship diagram is actually available like on the web internet. Like I usually okay, what entity relationship diagram for Adventure Work, so you can get it. So entity relationship diagram, just like I show you here, the one I showed here, is just showing the relationship or linkage between I think this is it just shows you the relationship between the tables like this now. This is an example of ventilation diagram. So it tends to show you the linkage between all the tables, like how they link, so that if I'm using table A and I'm using table B, I can know what actually link up the two of them, like what is the common uh column that links them that I can use to like join them together. So that is why this one is actually needed. So you use ventilation diagram for that, and you should actually provide that whenever you wanted to like do it. Do you get
Thank you
that?
very much. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Sense.
So yeah, so that's that for. So let's go back to the SQL. I'm actually writing the code. So I did left join now. So what I want to show you now is this. Let me just show you something. I have if you check for the sales table, like I said earlier, I have all the customer that are there. Like I have all customer A, B, C. These are my unique customers. And if you check the members table, I only have customer A and B. You understand now? And the linkage and or the related column between sales and members is the customer ID. So if I wanted to join the two tables together, now I'm joining them based on customer ID. But in this case now, the customer ID customer IDC is missing for this customer members table. So if I use inner join for this kind of thing, it's only going to return the common uh uh values or matching rules between two of them based on the what based on the related column. So if I do something like select, but let me just copy this code now. So and I use the sales and members. So I use sales and this one should be customer ID. So in this case now, I'm actually joining two tables together using, you can use inner join or join. So inner join and join are the same thing. So if I run this now, this is going to return the two tables. What did I do right? Members. Okay, so
Use many.
yeah, thank you. So members.
Please, can you zoom out?
Okay. How about now?
That's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. So when you do this now, when you run this, and you can see now, when I check my results now, it's only returning information for customer ID A and B. This is because those are the two columns that are actually common to the two tables. I have customer customer ID ABC on the sales table, but I only have AB the members table. So when I use inner join or join, it only going to return the common one. That's I'm having information only for customer A and B. So that is inner join. Now it depends on my preference. Probably I want all the informations on the sales table, like all the information for customer A and B and C. I need everything. So I don't know. I don't really care whether the information is present on the members. I just want it to return. So if it's not present, it should return no. In that case, I'm going to be using let's see for this case now. Since the table that I'm actually prioritizing or that I needed all the information is on the right table, which is the sales. So is sales is on the right side. And so we have members, which is on the left. So in this case, I'm going to be using right join. If I run this and get all the information here, see now, you can see that it's returning all the information from what from the sales table to me, like ABC. And when it comes to the what the other table, which is the menu table that I don't have any information there, is returning null for them. But everything for the sales table is what is coming out. So that is an example of a right join. That's it. So that's an example right there. So for this kind of thing, now if I actually switch it to probably I put sales first and I put member second. Then so let's say for example now I want all the information on the members table and any corresponding one from the sales table. I'm just going to use left. So in this type of table now, I'm only going to get information for only customer A and B because that's the only one that we have on the members table. And if you check it now, you can see we don't have any information for C. We only have what A and B. So that's just the whole thing about left and right join. And full outer join is just like to bring all the tables together. So to do full outer join, you can just select straight from let's say sales now. Full outer join members. Full outer join members. So that's here. And that's that. So if I run this now, this one is going to return all the information from the two tables, like all of them. And that is what we have here. So all the information from the two tables are actually returned. And when there's no information returned, that's no. So that is full outer join. And like I said, cross join is just like mapping the whole thing to each other. So if I run cross join now, so it's just select That's that. So if you check here now, I'm having 30 rules. So you can see 30 rules is what I'm having. So it's mentioning all the values in sales table with members table. So I have 2 rows in members table, I have 15 rows in the sales table. So when you merge everything together, so you're going to get 30 rules, and that's what we are actually getting. So that is that in the joint. That's that in the joint. So do you have any other question on that? Let's just, is there any question on joint? Okay, Mr. Casman.
All right, thank you so much. You've really demystified the joy in SQL. We really appreciate that. So
Thank you so much.
this is out of context. Please, may I
Okay.
ask if this explanation given here so far is applicable to Python?
When you are joining Python, right? When you are joining two data frame in Python, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it's applicable. It's applicable. Yeah, it's applicable.
Okay, because I'm finding it a bit difficult to handle.
So you just have to state, when you're joining in Python, you just have to state the type of join. When you are using pandas, there's inner, there is left, there is right. So you just have to state that and select the column you're joining there. Yeah, it's similar. It's same thing.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So now the date functions. Now we have different date functions. Let me try and zoom out this my slide thing. Sorry for this thing. So these are the different date functions that you can use to manipulate dates, data with date column in SQL. We have the current dates, and these are the dates that we actually use for cleaning and everything like that. So when I'm talking about cleaning, it's also part of like maybe creating a new column from an existing one. So it can be also part of it. Like I'm creating column A from column ABC, I'm extracting column A from column D, and that's like that. So when I'm actually like doing or manipulating date columns within SQL, these are the functions that I use the most. So I have the current dates, just like we have the current date in Excel, like the current date, and it's going to give you the date based on the dates that you have set on your laptop. So current time, current timestamp, we have the now, we have the age. So we have the extract, we have the date part, we have the to char, we have the dates, we have the to stamp, to timestamp, and we have the interval. So those are the major things. So I'm just going to be taking some of the most important ones here and actually see how we can use them Postgres and to something. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is I'm not going to do much on all this current date and everything. So it's something that actually you can actually select current date, current underscore date, select current underscore time, select now. So all these functions are just normal functions, date function, etc. So current date is going to return the current date for you, just like we have. So that's based on the date that you have on your laptop now. So that is this. And current time is going to return the current time for you, just like that now. And now it also is going to return the date and time for you. So that is that and that. So the other one, that is current date and time. So the other one that we actually have now is we have the age. So age tends to give you the difference between two date column or two different dates. So let's say, for example, now you wanted to know the difference between two dates, and you might want to create a column for that. Probably you needed a column that wants to show you the difference between two dates. Now, one thing about age is this: age is going to give you the difference between the two columns based on year, month, and day. So if actually the difference between them is up to year, then it's going to give you based on that. That's for age. So an example is this. So let's say I have my sales data sets. I have my sales column. And under the sales column, I have information there that actually order date or something. I have order date there. I can just select. I wanted to know the difference between order date and probably today. So what is the difference between order date and today using the age? I want to know the in terms of years, month, and day. If there's something like that you want to do for analysis, I can just say select star, comma. Now to create that, I'm going to use the function age. Age, then you put in the current date and time, which is now. So I'm going to be using now. But let me just use current date. So the date that you want to define the difference, so you put it there. So current date then you separate it by comma. Current date, then you put the second one, which is probably the order date. You wanted to know the difference between the current date and order date as probably say as age or something, as age from sales. So if I run this now, you can see. So now this is giving me the difference, age difference between these two tables now. And see the difference between now and this age is 3 years and 5 months. And for this one, 3 years, 4 months, and 5 days and stuff like that. So those are what we use age for, just to find the difference. So now the next one that we have now is that is actually widely used for all these ones. We use the date part, we use the extract, and we use the chart. These are one of the three main ones that I use to actually manipulate our date column. So all these ones are used to extract a part of dates. Sometimes when I wanted to like do some analysis, I have the date column, and probably I needed the month in another column to just see the sales by month or to see the sales by day or the sales by year. So I'm wanted to like extract the year or the date or anything like that. So I can use the extract or the date part or the two charts to like do my extraction. Now, extract and actually the date part are more or less like the same thing in the sense that, so if I say, okay, let's say for example, I want to extract the year from this particular order date and create a main column that is here for further analysis. So I can say select everything from so I'm going to extract. So I'm going to extract. So after putting the extract, I can say year from. I'm going to extract year. Extract the year from probably order date. Extract year from order date from sales. So this should create, and I can create this one as probably year code or years. Let's do that. So I want this now. Can say that this one is actually extracting the year for me. It's extracting the year from the date column. So we have 2021, 2028. So you can actually do for month also. So if I actually want to do for month, I can do for month. It's going to give me for month, and you can also extract for what for day also. You can see I'm getting the month in like numeric, and also I can extract for day. So that is extract. So that's the same thing goes with date part too. When you're using date part, you tend to like also follow the same way. Like just to extract a part of the date and time. Like okay, I'm extracting what's it called now? I'm extracting year, I'm extracting month, and I'm extracting this thing. So there's no actually difference. So these are the typical example of how to use date part in your code. So just say select asterisk comma date part bracket years. So you have to like put years in quotes here and separate by comma for that date. Okay, let's see the function. Okay, let's put this one. Hmm. Extract date parts. No function matches the okay. Date underscore parts. Okay, so here is going to come first. Um, yeah, so we have this now. So just like that, so you can actually extract. So the difference between them is like for this one, you have to put in the codes and this. So when you actually extract with date paths and extract, it tends to return your value in probably month and day and week and like numbers, like it turns the days and week in numeric form. So let's say for example, we wanted to extract this thing, probably name of the month, I want to extract like January to and February and March and April and stuff like that. Then I can use to chart. So that one is actually also for extraction. So you wanted to extract a value, but you want it to return in form of a text. So if I'm extracting the name function, so I want it to return that function for me in name like January, February, and everything like that. So that's what we use. So and how can this actually work and actually get us our answer? So let's just if I want to use this, select chart and let's see. Yeah, come on. No, let me put month. Come on. Other dates. Let me just put everything here. Okay, come on. And from sales. Okay, we have some issue here. Okay. Let me see, let me see. This has to be in quotes. Yeah, format. Okay. No function matters is given name. Let me take it. Structure. Constraints. Let's give it. Okay. Other dates. Yeah, so this is it now. So you put in the month here. So let me put month there. So select start from other day. So this is going to return the name of the month in like in January, February, March, and April, and also for day of the week. This is going to create Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday. Like that. So those are the major functions that we have. If you check for other functions that we have here, too, actually, I've actually mentioned some of them in the video so that we won't take much time and actually can focus on some other things. So you can actually check out this thing. But if you have any question as regard all these functions that I have here, probably if you try and you're not getting, you can just let me know so that I can actually just talk about it. So the other one that we talk about is string functions. Talk about string functions, and these are used for manipulating strings or text data set in SQL. What I'm by text data set are like just strings like name of a person and types of products, categories of products, and stuff like that. So we have different types of functions here that I actually talk about too. So I talk about length, I talk about lower, upper, init capturing. So all those functions that we actually made mention in Excel also are kind of like related. We use some of them in actually in Postgres also. That's the likes of upper, lower, length, trim, and everything. Replace, concat. We talked about it in Excel. So they actually serve the same function in Postgres also. And I actually talked about them in details in the video. So for those that have worked it. So if you have any question on strings, please can just let me know now so that I can just take it slow because we start going over it again one after the other. That might take our time when I have everything. So that is that. So, because I want us to see some practical use of all these things, what we actually want to do. So the next one is subquery. So subquery is just like a nested query. There's, for those that are actually familiar with programming or something, there's something called nested if, you know, nested if or nested for loop or anything like that. So the same thing as when you have an if statement inside an if statement. So same thing goes with query. So a subquery is like a nested query when you have a query inside another query. So that's what we mean by subquery. A subquery, also known as an inner query or nested query, is a query within another SQL query. Select subqueries are used to retrieve data that will be used in the main query as a condition to further restrict the data retrieved. So what we actually use subquery for is just like to filter out the data in the main query. So I'm going to show you the main query and the subquery like very, very shortly. So they can be placed in various parts of a SQL statement, including the select, the from, the where, and the having. So now let's look at an example of what a subquery is all about. Like I said, when you are creating a query in SQL, all the queries actually starting with select. So you're actually writing a query in Excel in SQL, they start with what select. So if I say select star from sales, now this is a query. Now, if I now have another select inside this select query, that's what we call subquery. Like you have a select inside a select, that's what we call subquery, nested query. And how do we use that? So for example, now let's say I have two query like select star from sales, where let me see where order date is equal to, and I wrote another query, select maximum order date, maximum order date from sales. Now you look at what I'm doing now. So this is an example. This thing that I have is a single query now. It's a single query, and you will see that a lot when you see another select inside another select. So this is what we call subquery. So I have a select inside another select query. So that is what we call subquery. And for example, now this one I have a select start from sales where order date is the main query. So anything that you have inside these parentheses, like this any select that you have inside the parentheses is what we call subquery, because majority of the time we put subquery inside the parentheses or a bracket like this. And the reason why we do that is because we want the query inside the bracket. It's just like board masking, you give preference to it, board mask like bracket first. So it's going to like actually deal with something, the query inside the bracket first. Run the query inside the bracket before it deals with with the main query, before you run the main query. So that's what we focus on query. So this one inside the bracket is a query. And the result of this one that we have inside the bracket is dependent. The result of this main one is dependent on the one we have inside the bracket. So without this result of this subquery, we can't get the result of the main one. And it's actually used for retrieving or filter out the main query. Now I wrote select start from sales where. So what I want to do now is I want to filter out what this main query is actually giving out. That's why I have to put it in a subquery. Where, and I wrote another select function, select maximum order date from sales. So what this is going to do is this: it's going to run this query inside the bracket first and return the maximum order date. Then it's going to return the maximum order date and equate it into this order date. So that's like, okay, return the sales for the maximum order date. That is just what I just put here. This is just a simple explanation of what I put here. So if I run this now, then it's only returning the rules for the maximum order. So the maximum order date that we have is on the 21 of on the 1st of February 2021. So that is the maximum dates that we have. Do you understand my explanation? Do you have any question as regards this part? As regards subquery? Okay. Yeah. I think okay. Right.
So what when you say maximum order date, are we saying the highest date or what? Or because I'm not
the
seeing
most recent date.
okay, the
So
most recent date.
the most recent date is the highest date. If actually the most recent date is the highest date. So that's what this one is.
Which can also translate to the last date of transaction.
Of transaction, the last day of transaction, exactly in the table.
All right.
Yes. So that is what and that's an example. This is just like a simple way of using subquery. Subquery can be used in in so many ways. Now, another thing I want to like mention is
Before you go, sir,
yeah,
can we use based on this? Can we also use it to use this function query to calculate the or to understand the date with the highest sales or the highest quantity sold or whatever? Is it
yeah,
possible?
you can.
Combination?
Yes, you can. So we want to use it to identify the sales with the highest quantity sold. If I get that, is that what you're asking me, right?
Yes, highest quantity
Highest
sold
quantity.
or highest sales or revenue or whatever.
Mhm. So now or let's use price in this case now. So I don't have quantity value from the sales table. You understand? I don't have any column that is actually showing quantity yet. You understand what I'm saying now? So it's just showing the individual transaction. If I actually have a quantity column now, I can say, okay, where the quantity is the maximum. You understand? Or the only thing I can actually use is probably in case of menu. We have for the menu now, we have the price. We have the price. So select star from sales and I say where. Well, let's do some joining here. So let's do some joining here. Let's say select start from sales, join menu. So menu has the price of the product. Join menu and the menu on sales products ID equals to menu products ID. So now for this now, where the order date is equals to where let's use where the price. So in this case, where the select maximum price. Right. I want this. So I want this one to give me the orders with the maximum price. Okay. Okay. Mm. These are the different transactions that we have the maximum price. After joining to the table, which is 15, 15, 15, 15. Do you get that?
Yes, they are all
Yes.
same price.
Okay. So that is actually same. So one of the things I want you to know is this. Now, this is just a simple query. All this thing that we are doing is a simple query. Like writing a simple Excel query. Now, in a real sense of it, now you are going to have a very probably a very long single query that is actually answering or solving a particular question. Now, you don't have to actually maybe see it as a big deal or something. So what actually happens is all these small queries that we are right like that we wrote here is what actually add up together to bring on the bigger queries. So if you can just take the time and understand some of the simple queries that we're asking, like, okay, when we are getting this from this is what we are using, this is what we're using, you'll be able to understand the bigger queries. So some queries now you can use two subquery inside a single query, right? You can use two different subquery inside a single query. You just have to understand what it is used for and how it is used, just for you to be able to like understand the code. So you can break it down by little like that. Okay, break the first code down, break the main queries and break the subquery, see what they are trying to achieve. Then you understand all these bigger or advanced or large queries that everybody used to write and look so stuff. So it's just from all these things. So if you can break it down like this, then you understand the bigger ones. So that's information I want to have. Any other information on subquery? Okay, so now the next one that we have is so that we can actually go through what is CTE. So CTE is like common table expression. I think I talked about this in one of I think last class. Right? So a common table expression is a temporary result set in SQL that you can reference within a select, insert, update, or delete statement. CTE are defined using the with keyword and can be thought of as a way to improve the readability and maintainability of complex queries. So city is just like you creating a temporary table within a single query that you wanted to like reference to in the other query. So an example of what this will mean is this. Let's say for example now I want to create a temporary table that I wanted to reference for further analysis. Let's say for further analysis, I needed the three tables, or I needed two tables to come together. So I needed the sales table, I needed information from the sales table and the menu table for me to be able to answer my query. And I don't have the two information together. So I can create a table that actually merge the two tables together in my city and reference it in the other query. So this is an example of what I mean now. So to create a city, you start with width, like width. So after starting with, we say width, you now put it as. So width as, then you open the bracket. Okay, width. You put the name of the city with table A. Let me just say table A here now. Table A as, then you open the bracket. So inside this bracket, this is where you guys will query. So you can just write select. Let me just copy this one. This is what I need. So I actually want this query to. So I want the result of this query. So I'm merging the sales table and the menu table together. So I needed the merge table to be able to answer maybe the next question that I want to answer now. So I want to what I want to say here is probably okay. Let's just do something. Let's see. Select. I'm going to put another select star from. So instead of referencing probably menu or sales table or menu table differently now, since I've made the table together, so I can call it by the name of the table, which is table A. So table A. So the name of this reference table is table A because that's what I give it. So table A. Where can I use where I can put in a city a subquery here to where probably the order dates. Let me see order dates. I want to see the order dates with the minimum order date that is the old sales on table. The select star equals to select. Say minimum order date for issue sales. So if I want this now, select minimum order date from sales. Minimum order date to this particular to filter out the information from this main table. So to do this now, the old transaction, or let's say the recent or the old, yes, these are the old transaction. So like minimum dates, you know, understand what I mean. So I'm trying to return all the transaction to get information about the product that the customer bought, all the customer that bought the product already. So all our customer uh bought something, and these are the different products that they bought. These are the name of the product that they bought and the price of each product. So I just want to get something like that. Yeah. So that is an example of um of a city, just creating a temporary table that you can make reference to within your other query. So this other query can be some any query that answer anything. So you wanted to create a simple table, you can just put it there and reference it using uh, the other query just to get your answer out. Any question on this part on this city, and so we actually maybe check out some examples.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Please, can you help
Yeah,
us to be commenting out the queries?
Okay. So this one is the city. I'm just using city. So it's using so queries. changes should be captured. So that's that. So any other question? Any other question? Okay. So that's that. So now let's look at some of the questions that we can use this thing to now. So let me just quickly go to probably uh that means let's see if I can solve some question. That means SQL. I think let's check this case study now. Okay. So we have this thing. We actually checked this thing the last time. So we are all familiar with all the thing that is there. You're familiar with everything that is there. So let's check some of them. Mm. So we have what's the total amount each customer spends at the restaurant? I think we've done that the first time, right? Have we done this first question? What's the total amount each customer spends at the restaurant? Yeah, we've done that. Yes, so hello, are you on me? We will answer this first question, right? Hello.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So how many days has each customer visited the restaurant? So that's question number two now. So to know the number of days that each customer has visited the restaurant, now we are to use I think that one is just like ordinary distinct function to count the number of days. So how do we count the number of days now? To know the number of days is actually determined by the order date, right? So if I wanted to know the number of days that each customer has visited this our restaurant now, so I can just use distinct. So in this case, then we select uh customer ID. That's the first one. Customer ID. Then I'm going to do the count. So count of the order date. So if I'm counting the order dates now, a customer can come to our to our restaurant like twice or three times in a day, depending on how much like how well he likes our food or how good how tasty our food is. So what we want to know is just the number of days. So if it comes like three times in a day, that's actually resulting to just a day. You understand? So we want to know the number of days that it come. In that case, I'm going to be using distinct. So distinct, then you count the order date. Distinct order date. Then that's that as probably count visit or visit count. Just a visit count. From that's just the thing. So let's see. From sales. Because what actually give us information about how many times customers have actually come to restaurant to buy stuff is the order date, the sales column. That's what contains information about the day-to-day transaction. So it's the sales column. Sales and that's that. So we can actually just after using sales, use do by customer ID. So this one will give us the time, like the number of times that each customer has come to the restaurant to buy stuff. And this is it. So customer A has actually visited us four times. Customer B has visited six times, which is our best customer because he has been coming to buy stuff, and customer C has only come two times to buy things from the person. So that's the first question. So the next question is let's check down. So what was the first item from the menu purchased by each customer? This one has to use partition. Right? Yeah, I do that. So what is the most purchased item on the menu? And how many times were you purchased by a customer? We've answered this question number 40, right? What is the most purchased item? Okay. Yeah, I think we've done that too. So the next one is, which item was the most popular for each customer? Which item is the most popular for each customer? That's question number 5. And also we needed the rank for this one. Which item was purchased by first by the customer after they became a member? Okay, I think we can do this question about number 6. We have to do the partition. Yes, item was purchased first by the customer after they became a member. This one's a partition. Each item was purchased just before the customer became a member. What's the item purchase? Now, some of the questions that we have here require some other things that we actually have not mentioned in our SQL here, and we are not going to be mentioning that. So there's something called partition. I don't actually want to go deeper into that. That's like advanced SQL function for this. So that's I'm not going to be giving you assignment on this. And I think that is all we can actually answer these questions based on what we've talked so far. So in the first week after a customer joined the program, including their joined it, they earn 2 times on all items, not just sushi. How many points do customer A and B have at the end of January? This one also requires partition. So actually, these are the main questions that we actually can take with these things that we've talked about, the functions I've talked about in SQL. Those are the ones we can take. So what I'm going to be taking from us now is just our questions and other things that we actually have or that we need to like understand based on what we talked about in SQL so far. Okay, so yeah. Okay, Stella, right.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
What I just want a suggestion or a recommendation from you. Anyways, I noticed now you've given this a North Wind, right? And in some situations, we might be working on a data that we might not have somebody close by to like correct us or tell us what we are doing is right or wrong. So I want to ask now, is there any app or something we can use that as it can give us a kind of clue in writing some of this code? Because I've encountered a series of problem sometime trying to get some details and maybe just little punctuation. Maybe I didn't remember to put punctuation and it started giving error. So I know somebody at the time was recommending Monica or something. So I want to ask, is there something we can use on our own to enhance as in better operations or writing of this code sometime?
As one of there is, and that is here, ChatGPT. Yeah, it's very, very, very good. So this is how we use ChatGPT. This is how you use it.
Okay.
Now, when you get a query from ChatGPT, now it tends to give you a template. So you must actually be familiar with what you're actually writing to. You must have like some understanding of what you want to write. You might not know how to write it, but when you see the result, you can actually identify that, okay, this is, when it gives you a query, you can say, okay, this code is correct to some extent, and you can manipulate it to put what you want. So when you run that query and it give you the error, right? When you put it there and give me the error, copy the error and paste it there. For ChatGPT, it's going to give you an answer. So that's the way it works. Actually, it's like one of the best tools we can use to learn and to use us Bootcamp. It's very, very good. I won't recommend what's the name of this other one that is owned by Google. What's that? Gemini. No, Gemini. I think it's Gemini. Gemini, that's like the one for Google. That one is not actually that. No, it's not that brilliant. So ChatGPT, yeah, that's the best. So when you are actually writing some codes and probably you get some error, you can paste the code and the error. Free version will work. I still use free versions or something. Yeah, free version will work like for you start to do this. Free version will work. So if you wanted to like probably you now get to that higher level of like pro, you can now register for this thing. But free version can do anything you need to do for now. Okay. Like you can do it. Yes, ChatGPT. Any other question?
And I want to yes, okay. still on this SQL stuff. When we were going through which question, I can't remember the particular question. So I remember some time ago we're working on a airline analysis.
Airline project.
So, Yeah. So something just struck my mind that like that, I've worked on that data set before now, and I had same issue with that boating. What happened in
Okay,
boating?
Boston.
So
Okay,
using SQL,
okay.
we just bring it out now, Abby. What do you think?
Yeah,
If you write the
yeah,
query, boating.
very well. Yeah. Using SQL is going to bring it out when you write the query, like, okay, you are going to write the query to filter out for the transaction for both.
Yeah.
Yes, it will bring it out. It will bring it out. So I think what actually happened with that airline is because the data set is not complete. And the column that actually we are linking them on is not actually accurate. The value, because I checked it, is not accurate. So the column we are linking them on, the variable on this does not really match with the variable on the other one.
Yeah. So can't really
that
know
is
what
where
happened in boating.
yeah, we can't really know what happened in Boston. Yes, that's really so I've been trying to get some maybe good data sets for that, but I'm not really getting it. It's the source of the data that is actually bad.
Okay. We are novice, so when we done, we feel that we don't know what we are doing. So
No, it's the source of the data that is actually
okay, thank you so much.
so yeah, Adiola.
Okay, I just want to also mention that the Stack Overflow, I think is also a good community where
Okay, Stack Overflow too. Yeah, Stack Overflow too. So now Stack Overflow is like is a community. Yes, Stack Overflow is very, very good on to for most especially for programming like SQL too. So we have so many people that contribute to it, and so sometimes when you're writing your code and you put it in ChatGPT and you're not getting the answer, which is actually kind of like a yes sometimes. So you can actually you can actually go to Stack Overflow. We have people that just comment on the codes and probably give their insight as to what is actually happening, what you are doing wrong, or what you need to change. Yes, yes, Stack Overflow is another one. But first of all, try ChatGPT and then you go to Stack Overflow. So that's the other one. So any other question? Any other question for as regards our not twin data sets? Okay, David.
Hello.
David, you can go. Yeah, I'm with you. I know I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's not actually audible. Like it's not audible enough. Yeah, barely. I can hear you. Yeah. Can anybody hear David? Or is my own earpiece or AirPod? Okay, please probably should type
We
it out.
can't hear anything. There's something in the background also.
Yeah. Yeah, probably type it. So that's that. So any other question? Okay, Mr. Kasmi.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Normally, because of the cost of data, I normally download the videos of the YouTube. But this
Okay.
last one you posted, I
Yeah.
don't know what happened. I can't download it.
Wow.
It seems there is another method deployed.
Okay. No, really. SQL queries on Power
So
BI.
I normally do that.
Yes, you
Most
can.
times for every class, it might go through it 2 times, 3 times, and these are not cost effective.
Yeah, so
So I normally
I
take
don't know.
the
I will look into
videos
it if
of
there's
the
anything that I've
YouTube.
actually did wrong there.
I don't think
Yeah, I will check.
you can look
I don't
into it, but
know.
I don't think it's from you because I tried downloading a video too of recent and it was taking me
And
to
you get
another
something
landing
like that.
page. It was off. Well, I'm not taking time to
Uh,
investigate it, but you can double check for me and I'll try and
I will investigate, but I'm thinking it's a YouTube thing. I'm thinking it's a YouTube thing, but I will investigate. So now,
I normally use another app to download. I copy the link and then download it with another app. But this one is
it safe from net?
Yes, safe from
net. Right?
Yes.
yeah, I think it should be a YouTube thing, but you can double check, Mr. Manuel.
I will check and
I've
see.
also not investigated why I couldn't download. Maybe I'll take time and do that over this weekend.
Okay. And let's do that together and see what's going on. So also for Adiola, you asked something about data cleaning that I could remember clearly with SQL. What I can do is this because of the time and everything. I can actually make a video. So I'm not actually showing like telling that probably is going to like try to do, but before we or the boot camp actually And I'm going to create a video on how you can actually clean your data and clean your data within SQL and how you can create a table, like some of the functions that you need. I'll just pick a data set, random data set, and work with it and show you some of the things. And then I'm going to like upload that and so that you guys can actually get. So I want to go to email. We're not finished now. So that's that. So Adila, I think that's that. So okay, for David, can we visualize SQL queries on Power BI? Yes. Yes, you can visualize SQL queries on Power BI. Now, depending on what you actually connect, the way you connect your Power BI, there's this yeah, you can visualize your SQL queries with your Power BI. That is correct. So, when you are connecting your SQL to your database Power BI, there's something like called direct query, or is it direct query and load or something like that. There's two options whereby for direct query now, it only brings out the query that you wrote into the Power BI, and for the other one, it tends to bring all the tables. So, but you can actually, yeah, you can visualize it. So to do that, that will actually do it. It's going to be a practical thing that I have to like show you. It's just like you writing your queries and more or less like you selecting. When you're loading your data into Power BI now and you have your tables ready, probably your clean tables there, the way you want to visualize, maybe you want to visualize maybe sales by something, or you want to visualize sales by this thing. So when you are dragging and dropping within Power BI, what is actually doing underneath is like it's writing query to the database, and that is what it's doing. So you can actually just use your normal Power BI drag and drop thing. Okay, I'm visualizing this and that, or I'm visualizing thing, or you can write a DAX formula for it. So even when you're writing a DAX formula to create that visualization in Power BI, what it's doing underneath on your database is writing a query to get that. So that is how actually it works. Not like coming like you typing query on your what's it called now within your Power BI. Okay, Emmanuel, David, do you get that?
Okay. I want to a little bit divert from this question, but I noticed something on my Power BI. So when I
Okay.
installed it and updated it, I
Yeah.
noticed that I saw this thing on this that part you get a report, modeling and this other relationship something. So I saw another column which they wrote das on it.
Okay.
I don't know if you've
Okay.
seen
Now
it on your
that
own site. So
yeah,
uh
I've seen it.
how can we like okay, how can we use that thing? Because I can see something like run there. Is it an external app that is being attached to it?
No. It's like an AI. They integrated an AI into your Power BI whereby that can
Okay,
help you.
into Power BI.
Yeah, that can help you to write what's it called? DAX formula. So what you need to do is just type in your metric there that you want to get, and it's going to actually give you the DAX formula for it.
Okay, instead of using the modeling part to create matrix
Instead of
and every other one, so I can use this one.
yeah, you can use that instead of like writing all this number, you can use that one.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So Stella, do you have a question? I see your hand
Yeah,
there.
I wanted to contribute to what not the last speakers, the one asking of
Okay.
how if you can visualize your SQL in Power BI.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make like the one I've tried. That was what I was asking the other time. When like the queries you've done now, you export it so it will be saved on your system. Then you go to your Power BI to do your visualization. So that was I was asking, is there another way of cleaning the data apart from doing it like bit by bit? Because I know like the query you did now, those ones you just did now, you can just export it to your system.
Yeah.
Then you go to Power BI, just the way you get data, you get those data and you visualize. Already you've done it. What you want is already being done. You don't need to start stressing yourself. Or the result is there already. You just want to visualize.
Is what you are sending to your Power BI. Yes, that's like you've already written a query to transform the table that you needed for analysis. Yes, that's what that. So the other one that is actually there's another way actually that one is like that's like one way, and that's like actually one of the best way to do that. So another way is like sometimes when you connect your database directly to your Power BI without you transforming or cleaning the data or anything like that, and you wanted to like do some of the things within Power BI, you can also do that. Whereby I'll just connect the table directly. But that one is going to take a long process. You have to like be linking and everything like that. So if you're actually doing that in Power BI, so what is actually doing for your PostgreSQL database, like all the queries that you wrote in the past to create a single table is what is actually writing in your database underneath. You're actually doing that on Power BI on its own. I don't know what I get what I'm saying. Okay, so Mr. Kasmi.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate. Um, I noticed DAX now has a standalone app called DAX Studio. I don't know, so I'm not that conversant with it.
DAX Studio. Is it the one that someone just mentioned now?
I mentioned it, but that one, that Studio is a standalone application. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if
where do you see that?
there's one class I jumped in the other weekend, and that's what they're using.
DAX Studio.
Yeah, they're using it, trying to compare the how it works and how you can relate what's happened here and what's happened the Dark Studio in Power BI. So
Okay. It's like an add-in. It's like an add-in tools that you actually integrate into your Power BI.
well,
Yes.
they are working on it off Power BI. Off Power BI.
Power
It's
BI.
yeah, it's a standalone app.
Okay.
So
So writing that query, right?
yes, using it to write DAX query. So when the
Okay.
other caller made mention of having DAX on his dashboard, so I just remembered that. See, perhaps there could be an add-in or something like that to
I'm checking
integrate
it now.
it.
So yes. So yes. I'm saying something like this now. I've actually not used Backstreet before, but I'm going to like do my own findings, and I'm going to just read on Google what I think about what I guess from it, just to shed more light on that. About Backstreet. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do
So,
that. Okay. Mr. Adegoke.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if this is not half of this. Is there we have Microsoft Power BI desktop, right? On the Google Azure cloud, is there another version
Okay.
of Power BI tool there?
Okay.
Do you have an idea?
So yeah. What if you're actually working with cloud? It's going to be something like a Power BI service. It's going to be desktop. It's not going to be desktop. I don't really have an idea, but I'm sure since Azure is on cloud, so you can't have desktop on it. It's going to be probably a Power BI service or what's some premium something like that. So you are trying to say like maybe somewhere you can create your own dashboard like you are creating on desktop on Azure, right?
Yes, just like we
Yeah.
can, with because so based on somebody I interacted with yesterday, it was of
Yeah.
the opinion that since most companies are moving to cloud, and the Power
Yeah.
BI desktop is used for maybe for data centers and remote whatever, that
Okay.
but probably there's a version of Power BI on Microsoft Azure cloud platform that you can use to work on a cloud data analysis to analyze cloud data or whatever. Do you know if there is?
Yeah, I don't know for now, but we can find out.
Okay.
So your question and Mr.
But
Kasmi's question,
sorry,
that
if I
studio.
may say something.
Okay, continue.
Sorry, yeah, if I may say
Mhm.
something. Moving to cloud, I think a Power BI server is a cloud base. So
Yeah,
you can
that's
actually,
what Power BI service, right?
yeah, I mean, a Power BI service. You can do virtually everything you do in Power BI desktop on service. So
Power BI service. Yeah, that's actually what I'm thinking too. That probably you don't have to have desktop and just work with the service there. But I will actually find out. But that's, I think that should be the best way to go about it, though. But let's just find out and let's just see it based on our assumption. But yeah, I'm going to look into that and actually give you some information. Just put it on the group page and get what I find out. So, any other question? I think we actually. So this is the part where we are going to like end our class. I think we've come to the end of our classes here. But if you have questions, you can actually send it to the group page. We are going to unlock it sometimes and open sometimes. So for everything, we can actually answer. We try as much as possible to answer as soon as possible. We are doing just to answer as soon as possible. So okay, I've actually explained the project to us. Please let's work on it and submit on up before Saturday. And next week we are going to be having introduction to the research, your what's it called now, your project that you're going to be working on for this bootcamp. So we're going to be sharing with you and how you go about it and everything. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. And after them, we're going to be having some interactive class about portfolio and a bit of LinkedIn. Then that'll be all for the bootcamp. So that'll be all for today. Okay, Mr. Casman.
Yeah, please. One more thing before you go. I immensely
Okay.
appreciate the the way you are demystifying all the hurdles in this data analytics. We are really very happy to be here. And one more thing.
Thank you.
Okay. Most times we have when we apply for job, we do have some tags that perhaps you may need a guide to go through it, as in for job. Yeah, for job. So I don't know if this platform will be able to stiff out time to guide us if you have a job related interview that will help us to. So that is another tax anyway.
Like interview, right?
Yes.
Like I think there is a video on interview on Data Fellow page. Toby, are you there? Toby, are you there? I think yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, there are videos on there's a video on interview on Data Fellows page. So you can check it out on the YouTube.
All right, but then what I'm saying basically is if we have a tax in the course of interview and we needed a help for someone to pull us through, I don't know. I know you have a very tight schedule in your activities, but then that's asking for more anyway. But then I don't know if people will be disposed to assist some of us.
Okay, so I would say that you can always share it to the group, right? And it doesn't even have to be just us. Anybody from the community can like help out with it. And I don't know if you're also part of like Data Fellows. If you share it on any of the groups, either this the 10-week data analytic bootcamp or Data Fellows, like anybody can assist. I think after the bootcamp, we'll probably leave the group open. I think we'll probably leave the group open so like there can be sort of a community there. But you can also like join Data Fellows. If you have any issues, you can share it there and anybody will answer. It doesn't have to be just either me or Ola or anybody on the team. It can be people on the call.
All right, I appreciate. I'm in a Data Fellow already.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
which one is Data Fellow?
Oh yeah, so Data Fellows it's a community. It's a community of like data professionals. So if you join through, if maybe like you weren't maybe added into the group by someone, if you join through the link, you have seen the breakdown and everything. You see Data Fellows. I can reshare the link here just to stop too much talk. So once you just click the link, you would see the group so you can join there.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so actually that will be all for today. So Toby, do you have any actually you want to add anything as regard the project next week or any other thing? Because basically we are done with the whole class
Yeah,
now.
so I'll
So,
just say that from
so
here it's
go
just
ahead.
like personal like building that you need to start like taking your own personal courses to do some practice on like what you have been taught, and also the next 3 sessions, because like Ola said, you're going to have um next week is going to be project introduction. The upper week will be portfolio. Then the last week will be LinkedIn. Like those next 3 weeks are very important because you are going to be learning these things for free, right? From people who know how to do it very well, like literally very well, and it's for free. So if you if you know anybody maybe that is on the group that maybe hasn't been joining, I think then this last 3 weeks, because also like getting your certificate is a determinant of you also finishing the project. And the project is really, really comprehensive that if you put it on your portfolio, it would speak for you. So it's something that everybody needs to participate in. Also, portfolio, like learning how to create your portfolio is really something that every data professional wants to do, but maybe they are not able to do it, and you're going to learn how to do it. Also, your LinkedIn, revamping it and all. So that's for me. I'll just say like I just feel like the next 3 sessions, nobody should really miss it. Yeah, because it's going to be like a lot of knowledge for free. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. So with that, I think we've come to the end of class for today. See you next week on the project and the other ones for LinkedIn and portfolio. So thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. We appreciate.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you a
All
lot.
right, thank you.